So, what kind of worker are you? This week's topics will cover three critical skills it takes to be a professional graphic designer. This is time management, good communication, and making ethical choices. A few weeks ago, we started the class by asking you the question of what kind of graphic designer do you want to be? And we dived in deep talking about where you are right now as a student and as a working professional. Well, in these three areas, I want you to be really focused and critical of yourself because these three areas can make or break you as a professional. Now, professional skills like these don't easily show up in your portfolio. Instead, they manifest themselves through your day-to-day work routine. Your work ethic and the choices you make, they don't just stick with you, they stick with everybody you've ever worked with. Essentially, this is your reputation. And your reputation is more than just the work you create. I mean, what good is a portfolio if everybody rolls their eyes when they hear your name? You know what I mean. Oh, John, man, he's a good worker and he's very creative, but he shows up late all the time. Or Anna, I like Anna, she's really creative, but I can't trust her. Your reputation can take a long time to develop, but can instantly change. So, what kind of worker do you want to be known as? Now, for this video, I want to focus on two broad categories of professional behavior that I think will help you be successful. And both of these categories come from my working with hundreds of students dealing with all ranges of professionalism, creativity, and work ethics. And usually whenever I have a problem with a student, it falls into one of these two categories. So if you ever find yourself having difficulty with a fellow employee or a teacher or a fellow student, see if you can recognize where this problem will lie. The two categories are this: can you work hard and can you show respect? That's it. For me, that's the secret sauce in what it takes to be a true working professional. But I think along the way, we tend to forget what does it really mean to work hard, or what does it mean to show respect to others. So that's what I want to spend a few moments this week telling you about and giving you something to think on. So the first category of working hard. What does it mean to work hard? I'll submit to you that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to stay up late and sacrifice time with your friends and your family. It doesn't mean you're going to be working your fingers to the bone, getting every detail of a project right. All of that may be symptoms of working hard, but at its core, working hard simply means you're finding what you love to do and you're applying it to every aspect of your life. If you find yourself not working on something that you love, you're not going to work hard at it. And so if you're a graphic designer, you definitely want to love the job that you're at. If the only time you do graphic design is when somebody asks you, chances are you're not going to be a good graphic designer. Good graphic designers practice graphic design outside of the classroom. They practice graphic design outside of their computer. They read books on graphic design. They talk with other people about graphic design. For me, I love networking with other graphic designers and just binging on nerdy things that graphic designers love to do because that's my passion. For me, working hard means finding ways that I could practice graphic design and share my love with other people. My wife is a school teacher. For her, I get to design all of her handouts. We get to work on fun video projects. And because of my love of graphic design, because of the hard work I put into it, she's a successful English teacher. Because I love graphic design, I gladly do work for my church, I gladly do work for other departments and other campuses, and I gladly teach graphic design. I've never worked harder in my life than as a teacher. Before then, I was just a student. I was doing the job, I was doing the projects that were required of me. But when I truly fell in love with graphic design is when I found a purpose for it, a way of applying what I love as a graphic designer to helping others. So for the first category, working hard. If you find yourself really loving graphic design, then you'll find yourself wanting to express it. You'll want to read books and watch YouTube tutorials and find magazines and other things online, anything that you can do to express your creativity. That's what working hard really means. And you can apply this to other aspects of your life as well. Hey, if you're in a relationship and you love someone, you want to spend time with them. You want to do everything with them, right? And so if you work hard at something, make sure it's something you love. If you find that you can't spend extra hours or you're just ready to let go, maybe it's time to focus your efforts on something else that you can truly work hard at. Because once you start working hard, then your reputation really builds. The second category is showing respect. Now, I'm going to keep it real for just a second. I've had some bad days because of students. And I can guarantee you, some students have had some bad days because of me. Now, regardless the tension that may have developed, regardless the bad time that we may have spent together, I still have to show respect to my students. And as a teacher, I still expect respect to be shown to me. Showing respect to someone doesn't mean making them into a good person or making a bad situation into a good situation. It means finding the good and finding something learnable in every situation you find yourself. Showing respect ultimately is how you interact with people, and it's the kind of thing that really dives into the soul of who you are. Let me give you an example from a student perspective. I remember as a student hating 8 o'clock classes. Man, I hated rolling out of bed early in the morning and getting myself ready. Very often I had to skip breakfast just so I could get to class on time, and I was tired. I could care less what the teacher was talking about because I just wanted to go back to sleep. And very often I found myself in a situation because I wanted to stay up late the night before. Now, as a teacher, my attitudes towards 8 o'clock classes have changed because now whenever I have an 8 o'clock class, I've got students who are depending on me. I have to show them respect. I have to be available and be able to teach them whether they want to be there or not. So I've got to learn good time management. I can't just stay up late anymore. And furthermore, I don't live on campus. I've got to get up extra early so that I can drive to campus. And I've got to get up even earlier than that so I can get myself ready, get my daughter ready, take my dog for a walk. I've got a lot of other responsibilities, but I gladly take on these responsibilities because I respect my students enough to be prepared for a class. As a working professional, you've got to show respect to everybody you work with. You'll have bosses that get under your nerves, but you've got to be respectful to them. You've got to listen to them. You've got to follow their instructions. You're going to have clients that are just difficult to work with. And those clients are going to think, man, you're difficult to work with. How are you going to treat them? Hopefully you'll treat them with the same respect that you demand from them. I'll end this video by giving you something to think about. When Jesus Christ was asked, what's the greatest commandment? This is a very Jewish question because no matter what he answers, he's going to be trapped into one area or another. Jesus' response was perfect. He said, the greatest commandment in the Bible, the one thing you should be doing above everything else, whether you know the entire Bible or not, you should do this one thing. This is it. Love the Lord God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And the second is to love others as you love yourself. How can you love your God with all your heart, soul, and mind? That takes a lot of hard work. How can you love others the way you would love yourself? That takes respect. working hard and showing respect. The next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, take a step back. Look at yourself from another person's point of view. What kind of worker are you? What kind of worker do you want to be?